Hi, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and blog. Today I'm going to make a card using the March 2018 Simon Says Stamp Card Kit. It is a lot of bang for your buck, this kit is, and I've been really excited about it. Um, there are two stamp sets in it, but I'm only using the one today. I'm using the Showers and Flowers. I've inked up my stamp with Fawn Jet Black ink, which is a Copic friendly ink. And I've done it twice just to make sure it's good and crisp using my Mini Misty, which is a stamp positioning tool. I'm cleaning off my stamp with a stamp chamois and moving on to grab a piece of the paper or piece of paper that comes in the kit. That kit uses the Carta Spring Market 6x6 paper pad. And I've grabbed this one and I'm just going to cut it to a 3-inch piece to fit along my card. And then I'll trim it down to 4 1/4. My card base is actually 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And folded in half on top, that makes it an A2 standard size card. So here I'll start some Copic coloring. And here I'm using R20 to start off with. I figured that matched the papers pretty well. And this marker needs a refill pretty bad. So I'm scrounging for color in this one. Now, if you've never used Copic markers before, they are an alcohol-based marker. They're fantastic. I love them because they blend really well. Moving on to R22, just to try to get some extra color in there, use a little shadowing. I tend to use 3 colors when I'm coloring, sometimes 2, depending on how small the image is. This particular image I will use 3 for the reds or the pinks. And I'm not so worried about those dots because I'll take care of those later. Now with the R24, I'm going to add a little bit even darker shading. Give it real dimension here. If you've noticed, I don't actually go all the way to the sides. One of the things I've noticed with the R family of Copics is that they tend to bleed pretty well. So I tend to not go all the way to the edge until I'm ready to just completely finish off my coloring. I'm blending those out a little bit more. And then I'll grab that R20 here again just to try to bring it out even more. Now I'm moving on to the yellows. I've got Y02 and Y15, and I'm going to use those for the flowers. I figure those are a good color, it matches the papers pretty well, and it just gives you a real springy feel. Bringing in the Y15 just to give a little bit of definition and darker color at the bottom of most of those flowers. And you don't need much here in those little dotted flowers, but moving on to YG67 and YG03. I've never used this color combination before, but I was actually pretty pleased with it. If you look at the way the Copic color families work, YG03 is pretty far away from YG67, but using Sandy Allnock's hex chart, which you can find at sandyallnock.com/hex chart, it gives you a whole fresh new look, or a whole fresh new way of looking at the way Copic colors can blend together. And I was pretty pleased with this one. It seems a little dark at first, but when I go back over with my YG03, it blends out beautifully. And I really don't have a lot of rhyme or reason to where I put my shadows, just try and put them kind of behind, or where they might be behind. Here I am blending it out. And now I'll move on to the browns. I'm going to use E23 and E37 for my dirt, starting out with E23. get a good base down. And there's even a little bit of dirt on the top of those boots that I kind of had colored over with my red, but because the brown is a little bit darker, you really can't tell that I had already colored over it with the red. I'm adding some darker. And then I'll blend it out a little bit with that E23 again. And now I'll bring in my white Uniball Signo gel pen to color in those dots. Pretty easy to do. I just was too lazy while I was coloring to try and go around all of those dots, so I thought it would just be so much easier to come back in with my gel pen. Now that I'm done, I'm going to set it aside, kind of let the gel pen dry a little bit, and come back in to cut it. One of the things about cutting that I have found is when I use these little scissors, I keep my scissors still and I move my image around. That way it's a whole lot easier to cut around it and leave a little space. Now I've discovered I'm not quite sure I like the layout, so it's actually going to be a side folding card. I don't make a lot of those. I grabbed one of the stickers from the Carta Spring Market stickers pack and just stuck it down on top of the paper. Now I'm just unsure of the pink cardstock that I've used, which is actually the cotton candy from Simon Says Stamp. So I switch it out and I grab some Neenah Desert Storm that came in the kit as well. The cotton candy came in the kit as well, and so did this green. I believe that's, I can't remember the name of that, but I will mark it in the bottom. Anyway, I didn't choose it. I went with the Neenah Desert Storm. I just really liked how it was contrasting. So I put that down and I've decided that I want to pop up my image using some foam tape, which I use the Scotch 3M foam tape. It really is my favorite. It can be torn, it can be easily cut, and the paper backing comes off pretty easily too. Put that down, and I know that it's just not, I need a little bit more, so I grab my gel pen again, and I'm just going to do a little faux stitching around the outside of my panel. It's sometimes those little details that just add exactly what you need. And I found with my gel pen, if I just hold it straight up and down, I get a good coverage. And one thing I didn't actually show you, and you'll see because I try to get the light to show the shimmer, is I went over the top of my boots with an Aqua Shimmer Glitter Gloss pen by Nuvo. It basically just has a lot of little bits of mica in it or something, and it causes a lot of shine. You can't really see it too well in the video, but you can sure see it in real life. See, I'm trying to show in the light, but it's there. It's really pretty. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Like and share this video, and maybe even become a subscriber.